everybody, it's Christine. It's time for a Scraplift Crafternoon. And we're actually lifting somebody we lifted a couple, 3 months ago. But obviously she's kind of talented and we like her stuff. And so there you go. So you'll see her links down below. This is a little Christmas lad. I'm so sorry. It's going to be a little small here, but of course we link it. But basically there's one photo and then she's got a couple of layers. And then she's used another little set of papers here. And then there's like a little journaling card. And she's got these cute little like Christmas embellishments, and there's actually mixed media behind it as well, and I think that's sequins in there. So that's what we're working with. I'm not doing Christmas exactly, but I am doing cold stuff. I had this picture that I took. We were in DC. It was the 23rd, and it was really cold, y'all. That was, I think, the coldest day we were there, and my husband had on his little face mask thing, and we had our little coats on. Sorry, my cat, you know how she is. So that's really cute. And the hip kit from December is called Winter Moments with You, and that seemed really appropriate. So I think I can use, like, I'm hopeful. I'm going to maybe do, I don't know, she's got a goodly amount of embellishments, so maybe it won't be more is more, but there's some cute chipboard. I like these little frames. Winter Wonderland is really cute. Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, I love that. I'm hopeful to really kind of embellish sneeze on this so I can use some of this up. That being said, there is still quite a bit of paper left too. Now, I love this wood grain, y'all, but I'm not going to use it today because that's not my look and feel or whatever. I kind of like this. I think this is really pretty. I think I might use this. I think this looks pretty with that blue. I don't know. I'm going to play with it, but I think that's what I'm going to go with. Of course, I have tons of little papers here to choose from, so no worries. I mean, look at that, y'all. That's so cute. Some of these patterns, oh, that's pretty too. Look at that. Anyways, I got to make my way through this and figure out what papers I want to use. I like this a lot as well, but there's trees on it, and it's not really exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, that stripe's pretty. No, we're not using that right now. Thank you for that, Saturn. Anyways, let me do a little bit of picking and choosing here, and I will come back on once I've picked and choosed and maybe matted my photo. All right, talk soon. Alrighty, so quick check-in. I've picked and I've choosed. So I've picked, this was my background paper. I picked this yellow polka dot here for the main piece, and then this little guy here. And then I had these two scraps, so I've just trimmed those down. You can still see this, but I'm going to cover that with embellishment, so I'm not worried about it. And then I'm going to do my mixed media behind this stuff with this festive berries that I mentioned. I did do just a quick swatch, and I think it'll be fine. I'm going to splatter that behind there, and I think that'll be pretty. So I just wanted to show you what I had selected as the papers, and I will get to mixed media-ing. I will possibly, Saturn, don't be yelling at me. I will possibly be scuffing the edges because they look a little unfinished to me. I don't want to ink them, I don't think. So, but let me do my mixed media and then I'll come back on. Well, actually, I'll do that on camera. So give me just a second. Okay, y'all. So off camera, I wrote little pencil marks underneath my little cluster of stuff there. And I'm going to be honest with y'all and tell y'all I make a huge mess with this. I don't know what happened except it kind of pooled on my paper there, or my little plastic piece. So I went to go do this like flip over thingy, and it just made a ginormous spilled up mess. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I love how that turned out, but you know what? As I've said before with scrapbooking, you know, you can usually make it work if you cover it up or incorporate it some kind of way. So I'm trying to salvage this thing. I'm trying to make it not such a mess. So I'll bring that mixed media around here. But if I'm honest, that little bottom splotch down there, he kind of makes me a little annoyed. But, you know, like I said, I'm going to cover him up and it'll be all right. So I do like the color, though. I think the color looks great. You know, that pink there, it just turned out way bigger splotchy than I really kind of wanted. Here's where I'm trying to take a paper towel. And I tell myself the whole time, Christine, that's too late. That big old splotch is what that splotch is. So I go, okay, that's fine. I'm going to start organizing my papers again. Now, I did scuff the edges of those papers. So I don't think you can see it. Well, you can kind of tell, I guess, but they're scuffed. And I'm just, like I said, on this little piece here, I'm just trying to organize and go, okay, how much can I cover up by that ginormous splotch? So at this point, I've gone ahead and glued down the papers. I actually haven't glued down the picture just yet. I did put foam up underneath that little, like it says, winter activities, I think it is. And then I decided on this little note card here. She kind of had it on the right-hand side, if I'm honest. I think like the journaling spot. I put mine on the left-hand side because that little note piece there was cute. But it wasn't ginormous, and I didn't really want to put it on the little bigger piece over there. So he's on the left, and I got the little fox just because I think it's cute. This ephemera set did have some trees, and she had trees on hers, so I did pull out those trees. This is where I realized I hadn't yet glued down that picture, which I did put it up on foam, by the way. And then I have that little circle chipboard deal up there that says cold hands, warm hearts, which seems appropriate because we're out there in the middle of... So let me tell you just real quickly while I'm gluing all these things down, which I have just kind of picked and dry fit some of these embellishments, but this was actually the 23rd of December, and it was the coldest day that we were there. It was the coldest day we were there. Most of the weather was actually not too terrible. There was one day it was raining quite a bit, so it was cold and rainy, but it wasn't actually as cold as this day where it's actually clear. And it was really cold. I think it was in the 20s, if I remember correctly. So we had our coats, and my husband had his little face mask deal on. I think he looks funny. So here, actually, I intentionally, on purpose, kind of chose, I wanted to use these snowflake deals that's in this, they're like they're stickers, but they're kind of clothy feeling. I don't know how to explain it. They're not paper. I don't think they're paper. They feel kind of like cloth to me, but they may not be cloth. I really don't know how to explain it. But I wanted to use a bunch of these up. And she kind of still had some mixed media type stuff on the top part of some of her papers, but I'm kind of using this instead of that. And I'm just kind of building out sections of these little snowflakes, and I kind of like how this turned out. And I do put some up behind these little clusters, and I think I use not every one of them, but almost every one of them, which really pleases me because it can be hard to use a bunch of something. And I'm looking at my chipboard, and I decide, you know what? I think some of these little words could be cute over the top of those little snowflakes. So I'm just going to add a few little word phrases that kind of seem appropriate. I think one of them says like, I love December, or we love December, or something. One of them says, I think love, to be honest with you. On the left-hand side, I think one that says love. But I'm just finding these little, now this is where I'm kind of struggling, y'all. They kind of stuck to each other, and I messed my stuff up. So I have to organize it back because I'm like, I don't want to ruin my little stickers here. I really like these little word stickers. Or they're chipboard stickers, which I really enjoy. So there you go. I got that one there. So I put 3 little word phrases. I don't think I put any more. I decided, no, that looks pretty good. I don't think anyways. Now that I've done, it's been an hour or two since. Nope, I did stick one more. Lied to you. Sorry about that. So that's kind of what I got going on there. In a second, I'm going to go pull out some little jewels. And I'm kind of thinking in my head, they're kind of like ice or, like cold stuff. Like, I mean, they're not really diamonds per se because they're just, little jewels. But to me, they kind of a little bit cold feel. They give me a sense of coldness. So I'm going to add these to the layout here. And I'm going to add, like I said, a little bit of journaling that just explains this was the coldest day of our trip. And it was, I think we were actually on our walk. We had walked from, I think, lunch or something, and we were walking over to the Jefferson Memorial. And it's only like a mile, maybe a little more than a mile. And we did walk a lot. We have no trouble with that. We love to walk. But it was freaking cold. I mean, my gosh, we had gloves on. We had our, like I said, the coats and everything. But it was freaking, I'm not going to lie. It's one of those, it's like your whole body just kind of like clenches, and your bones are kind of like just in like a clenched up feeling. We're from Texas, y'all. We don't like to get that cold. Although I say that, and y'all, today as I'm making this voiceover, we're having an ice storm here. And it came down just a minute ago. We probably have a good ½ inch of sleet on the ground right now. And it's like 27 degrees or something. So I'm sitting in my chair with a heated, weighted blanket, y'all. I'm happy with this. I'm not going to lie. I'm so thankful. These are the days I really am happy that I can work from home because it is just a real blessing to do that when it's this kind of weather. We did get up and try to go to the gym this morning because it's only like 4 minutes from the house, and ice hadn't quite like come down the way it has now. It was on the ground, but it was more like wet ice, black ice or whatever. And they were closed. So we didn't get to work out at the gym this morning. Anyway, that's all I'm going to do this layout. Y'all, Saturn says hello. So I'm going to slow it down, let you see the details. And y'all just ignore that big old splotch of mixed media down there on the bottom. Y'all have a wonderful day. Please make sure you check out the playlist and all the links below. The ladies always, I really love watching everybody's videos. It's always so cool to see how we all differently interpret. That is one of the coolest parts of this hop. So please be sure you check all that stuff out, and we will see you next week, or hopefully I'll see you on Tuesday. Anyway, thanks so much. Bye-bye.